laughing good. Hi!
Hey everybody, it is Wear Your Red Shirt Monday, so your red shirt. So welcome home from Success School. I hope everybody had an awesome weekend. I know we did, and I know we're all tired from it, but that's okay. That only happens once a year, and it's worth all of the lack of sleep. So where we are right now, we're all in a what I would call a danger zone because it's Monday, where kids back to school just like us, where you're back to work, and you're just back to life. And so when I call that a danger zone, it really is because all that fire you got in Dallas, you have to be really careful not to let it burn out right now. And it's something that we certainly struggle with, especially on a tired Monday. But I just caution you to take that, review the notes you took over the weekend, sit down, look at that thing. And Anna's going to give you some good tips here in a little while to help you along. But I guess the purpose of this video is to just kind of be very raw with you and talk to you about where we are. I mean, there was at one point on Saturday, Anna and I got up, walked out, and sat down for a good hour and just talked about what was on our mind, where we're at with our business, and we want to share what we have kind of come to with our business and where we're at and where we're going to go in order to help you guys. So what I really realized when we were sitting there talking, and there again, I'll just be very transparent and raw. We all, Anna and I both, we wish we were further along than we are right now. I think, but the realization we have is that we are where we are as a result of our effort. Certainly, I told Anna, I said, sometimes it's like you're pushing a rock with the proper amount of force, you're just pushing it in the wrong direction to get it to move. So we realized we need to push it in a different direction. And that direction really is exactly what they talked to us about on that stage a lot. New frontline recruiting, getting out there, talking to new people, putting new people in the pipeline. That is where we have been falling down, and that is what we realize we need to do right now, and that's what we're going to do. And another thing that came to us too, we talked about, we had a few people talking to us way down the line, and we kind of asking them what they need, and the word accountability kept coming up. Accountability is a good thing.
I'm not leaving. I'm taking notes.
But accountability can be a very dangerous thing, and we see that in our business at Revolution Personal Training. Accountability can weaken you, in my opinion. It puts the burden on someone else to hold you accountable for that, when in reality, everything we do, and in particular our Advocare business, is ours. It is up to us what happens with it. It's solely up to us. We can't sit back and say, well, we're not successful because so-and-so hasn't been helping me. We don't have that excuse. And you saw these people on stage this weekend who had absolutely nobody to help them. And they're wearing a diamond pin 2 years after getting started or less. So, and I know that, and I'm not trying to be harsh with that, but that is a reality. It is your business. It is our business. No one else is responsible for where that business goes except us. And when realizing that, as goes back to kind of pushing that rock. What direction do we need to push that rock to get it to move? And that's where we were at with that. And Anna has got some great notes, and she's going to impart some of her good old Anna wisdom on you. So thank you all for being a part of this team. Thank you all for supporting us. We are here to support you. Without a doubt. So look forward to a great future with every one of you. And here is the genius.
Okay, so here's my little notes. It's so cool because we honestly have unprecedented momentum in our business. We have unprecedented momentum. And the thing that I didn't write on my notes that I'll share with you guys is, and I learned this in my fitness competition too, I want you to really trust yourselves more than you want to, because sometimes because you're not getting instant results right now, or even in a 3 or 6 month period, it's easy to ask, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And honestly, in a lot of cases for me, I was doing a lot incorrectly, and time solved that, being more coachable solved that. But I'll be honest with you, and I'll take this back to fitness too. I got on that stage the leanest, best shape of my life because I quit asking myself what I would do wrong and just committed to doing what I knew to do for as long as it took to get there. the reason we have so much momentum and the reason I believe that we're going to reach our goals is not because we know anything that you don't know or that I'm going to tell you some secret. I'm going to tell you one secret today that you may not know, but we're sitting in the same stadium you are. We're online looking at the same trainings you are. We are talking to our network with the same bucket of fear that you are. We are just committed to doing it long enough. So I just want y'all to stop and think about, you're not going to go through any obstacle that any diamond has never been through or that we aren't hitting or haven't hit or hitting or gonna hit. And the difference in the people who are successful and the ones that aren't are the ones that are going to do it and be right here in 5 years no matter what happens. And that helps you take some of the bumps and bruises because you don't make a decision based on what happens. So I want to be honest with you and let you know all the cruddy stuff that's happening to you or that discourages you doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. So, but let me get down to my notes. So after Success School, here's what I would do. If you want to know, I wonder what Anna and Mike are doing, because I'm going to put this out there. We have a vision for a 9-star qualification before Christmas, and definitely our Emerald Pin here soon. So I should say probably maybe a 9-star pin before Christmas, which is, I really think that could happen, so I'll say that. So let me tell you what we're going to do to make that happen so that you're like, well, how'd they do that when I can't, X, Y, Z. Very first thing, get out your calendar, okay? Very first thing. So like pause the video and go get it and come back, and then put your mixers and the next regional event in your area on that calendar. Everything you do is driven by the desire to lead people through the Game On Tracker, and then when they decide to buy products based on the information that you're sharing with them from all the third-party exposures, then you become an excellent coach for them. And you just drip and educate along and along. You don't sell a product when you reach out to somebody. You open a business relationship. And that's going to go down a path that they very much control. So you're going to open your calendar and you're going to put that regional event, and then you're going to have all your Thursdays or all your Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Mondays or whatever. If you're serious about this business, you're going to do a mixer a week. So you're going to schedule that. So if you didn't go do that and come back, and you call or you're frustrated or whatever, I have to be honest with you. It's because you're not owning your business. It's because, I can't come to your house and open your calendar and put your mixers on there for you. Nobody's going to do that for us, right? So I used to watch a lot of trainings, and they'd say a lot of stuff, and I wouldn't actually go do the stuff, and that's just where that's coming from. All right. The next thing is get out your list. Add to your list everybody that you thought of while you're at Success School. Look at all the people on your list and make sure they're situated in some sort of tracking system where you can figure out how many exposures to third-party credibility they've had. Even if they're on product, the only way that you can grow is to continually drip that third-party credibility. One thing I would suggest to you is get them to a mixer or on the phone with your sponsor for some reason. And at Success School, they put up this slide. They say you can use mixers and three-way calls or introduction to your sponsor for troubleshooting. You can, any question they have, oh, I don't know, let's ask so-and-so, whoever your sponsor is. Because here's what I find. When my customer goes, hey, what can I take if I'm on medicine? And I turn in and go, hey, sponsor, what can my customer take on medicine? We're playing telephone, right? So what we do is we all get on a three-way call, and my sponsor talks to my prospect for whatever reason you can imagine. Anything works for that. So that's what I would do. That was step 2, okay? Step 3, I would say be an excellent coach. So one of the things that I've done inconsistently, I have been, for some of you watching this, you're like, oh yeah, you were an awesome coach for me. And for some of you, you were like, but you didn't coach me. So I understand that. It's not always easy. None of us coaches everybody perfectly. You can just strive to be better, which I've definitely set a goal of striving to be a much better coach. So I regret those of you that I didn't model that coaching for, but I have sent out that 24-day follow-up sheet and a detailed follow-up guide. Do your own research and take responsibility. Go find something that works for you. Don't let anybody fall through the cracks on products. You will never have a business if you just let them start products and then think that you're done with that. You won't repeat business. So be an excellent coach. And your sponsor can't do that for you either, so you got to take ownership of that. So my recommendations for ownership is you ask your sponsor questions always, because the people I hear from the most make the most impact on other lives and therefore have the biggest paychecks. But also when I'm calling up to my sponsor the most, that's what's happening. But I want you to think about, I think about Ellen Rose. I'm going to put you in this screen because I want to ask you a question. How would you say, I think about Ellen Rose, if we sent her to school and we knew that she wasn't paying attention while she was supposed to be listening to her teacher, but then after the teacher spoke and went through all, teachers prepare and they share, and then she wasn't listening, and then at the end of it, she would go up to the teacher and go, okay, what do I do? How does that work? What should I do now? Is she ever going to be successful even if the teacher stops and says, okay, let me go through it all with you again? Why would you say, what is that? Because the comparison is, I always think about people who, you've got trainings, you've got emails from us, you've got emails from other upline sponsors, you've got trainings you can be in person, trainings online, all the stuff that we utilize because we want our business to grow, because we are committed to figuring it out and sticking and staying. Um, but if but if you don't utilize that and then you go to your sponsor and ask all the questions that have already been asked, it's not that the information comes to that student differently. I think it comes from a lack of actual interest when it's, what is that? What is
Well,
that?
I think the key word you said is want. Do you really want it? If you really want it, you're going to pay attention. You're going to learn. You're going to educate yourself, and so you can be confident to go out there and talk to people about it. But I don't. It's not just a focus issue. I think it just boils down to a want. I mean, if you really want that, you're going to pay attention. And the key is, this kind of goes back to the accountability. Don't depend on, even though your sponsor's here to help you, there's all kinds of trainings out there. Don't depend solely on that. Go and educate yourself. There's thousands of sources out there. I mean, but there's probably too many. Go to your microsite right there in front of you, or PAR team. Go there and look at this stuff. Educate yourself. Take the initiative, take the responsibility to educate yourself for it.
Yeah. And that's like I said, like if you're sitting in class and your teacher goes over everything, but you're not really listening, that kind of reminds me of the people that we invest in a lot of group education for team-wide, and they're like, well, I don't want to look at all that, but can you just answer this for me? The thing is I don't mind, because I know that answer could be a key for them, but the problem is that you still won't hear me. The people who are thirsty and want it soak up everything that comes at them and then come to us with what they don't understand. And the difference is want, and I think in our culture, that's ownership of your business. They're like, well, these guys have, built this, so I know they know what they're talking about. So whatever they send, I know that has value, so I'll take care of that. So I'm not sure if I even have a point with that. I just was thinking about that student that sits in a classroom. The teacher says it the same way, but the difference is the student and what they have. Okay, so ask questions, train yourself, read, 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 read. I gave out bookmarks with the Don't Quit poem and a special message from us on the back to our leaders, because I know that they'll always have a book to stick it in. Not one leader ever, ever, ever isn't a voracious reader. And so if you're not educating yourself every single day, taking advantage of everything that is out there being poured into you, and reading every day, there's nothing else that can be done to help you. If you're not setting your mixers up and pouring as many of your business prospects into those big events, there's nothing anybody else can do to help you. Success School is not going to change a thing, right? So read. I recommend Believe by Danny McDaniel, Go Pro, and Andy Andrews books. I actually could recommend books all day long. But again, go to Diamond websites. They're full of, this is what we recommend you read. I don't think PAR Team has that. I think they had like a book of the month for a while. I know I put that on Facebook, but again, that stuff's out there. And if you're tuned out to that, tune in. Okay, so, number 2, take ownership. Say to your sponsor, I read this in GoPro. He said, this guy just wrote he's a highly paid network professional, and he said, the best thing that you can do for your business is to look at your sponsor and say, thank you for inviting me to the table to feast, and then you choose to feast. Instead of, so basically he said, tell your sponsor, thank you for introducing me. I'm going to go educate myself, and I'll let you know if I have any questions, and I'll be putting you on the phone call with, I'll be using you for as much third-party credibility as I can, because I got to go out there and get the people and bring them to my mixer, and I got to go out and get the people and schedule the phone calls with you. So I'll call you when I need you. That attitude is huge. Is that my phone? Okay. So, that was cool. All right, next. Follow the 90-day plan that's been put out. Now, here's the cool thing. I'm writing my note, and I was like, okay, and then tell them you'll send it to them. And I thought, you know what I did when I needed a 90-day plan? I went to AdvoNation, and Wayne Johnson gave us a 90-day plan. So if you didn't go to AdvoNation, you wouldn't have that, right? Well, number 1, ownership of your business means you go to the big events, right? Number two, and then I was like, but guess what? I lost the 90-day plan I used to use. And so when I needed one right before Success School, guess what I did? I Googled Advocare 90-day plan. So I just want you to know, I have the same internet you have. Go Google it. I recommend that you Google that and that you choose the diamond that you relate to and like. And you're just like me. You know, I used Wayne's for a while, and I'm going to pull up the one that I found on whatever I found it on, and I'm going to try that for the next 90 days. It's a trial and error. Do you have anything to add to that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so number 4, get yourself and as many people to the next big event in your area. Leading them through by creating your list, making sure that you're dripping them across that Game On tracker, taking anybody that even is remotely interested, or if you're recruiting for business, that you can to the next business event, okay? And then you're going to duplicate that with them. You're going to help them set up their mixers and get their people on products, and then lead their business team to the next big event in September, okay? 5, your whole goal, so our whole goal is to take that list, drip, and on their timing, take the ones that want to start products, get them started on products. Excellent coach. Be an excellent coach. The ones that are started on products, continue to drip Advocare, get the interested ones to that next business event, get their people started on products, right? And then number 3, the business recruiting. Business recruit. 3-way calls for the ones who say, yes, I want to know more, get them to the next big business event. Here's what happens. At August business event, they see a bigger vision. They get into action. We help them make money. They bring people to the September business event. Now they've been to 2. Now they're making money and they have a team. We are basically building the army that you're going to take with you to AdvoNation. Okay? So right now, serious leaders are thinking, how many people do I want at AdvoNation? The number of people you take to AdvoNation determines the number of people that go to Success School with you next year. And if you just came out of Success School, here's what you know. You will never grow the kind of business without Success School that you will with. So your whole goal right now, and they'll never, I can't call somebody and go, hey, you want to go to Success School with me? I have to drip them, sample that product, get them started, get them interested in business, get them to a business meeting, help them make some money, get them, it's going to be a breadcrumb thing. Okay, so your mission right now, if you have big goals or a goal of substantial business, is AdvoNation team. Big numbers that get yourself registered now and start recruiting now. So that's what I'm doing. I would say business ownership means that you know exactly what your purpose is, that you make an effort to know your purpose. And then what I would recommend you do is you write it. You get it on paper and you look at it every day. I recommend at least 5 places a day, and you don't go one day without internalizing it at least 5 times. So 5 and 5. Do you have anything to add to that?
Mm-hmm.
And I also noticed that a lot of people that I talk to a lot, or that we work with a lot, that their business doesn't grow. The problems are they don't have their mixers booked. They don't know when the next big event is. They don't have a vision for a bigger number at AdvoNation than they have right now. And they don't have a clear purpose. And I want to be honest with you. We were talking to Sam and Jessica, and we were like, we have a purpose. Debt freedom, travel, big life, impact on all of you. But do we have that compelling purpose we had when we said, hey, we want you to come home and work with us? Mm-hmm. And so I'll let you speak on that so you can see that that doesn't stop us from declaring the purpose that we do have. I don't want to be a hypocrite there and be like, act like, we've got our purpose down to the penny, but it's not that we're purposeless.
We don't. I know, as we sat there at the table with Sam and Jessica and told them, I said, we don't have that burning blue flame purpose right now. We've got what I would call just sort of a surface purpose, and a lot of that is a responsibility purpose, but we don't have that burning purpose. And that's something that we've got on our journey ahead of us, is to dig down and unpack that. What is that actual burning purpose to move us to that next level?
What do you think our purpose is right now? Like, truly, like why, even though I was so exhausted and I was committed to doing as little as I could today, I've actually put in a daggum full day, and we're doing this, and Melissa's coming over in a second to game plan, and so we are working hard. We do have one. What would you at least say that is at the moment?
I think our purpose centers around debt freedom, but I think it's getting to why do you want that debt freedom, and it's just hammering that why until you get down to the very bottom and the core of that. Why do you want the debt freedom? I mean, time freedom is something we have fortunately gained. We're very fortunate to have that now. But yeah, I can't tell you sitting right here, it's something we got to pray about and think about and work on and find.
I think, like I know for me, we because AdvoCare is our home in home. We've got breathing room. We have time freedom. You know, another we make our schedule. We work pretty hard, but we make our schedule. I'll tell you this. I have still a little bit of disgust and dissatisfaction with the daily stress of knowing that big number in our debt. I
Yeah.
don't like that. That motivates me. Um, the potential that sits in our team motivates the crud out of me. A lot of you, I'm like, oh my gosh, there is so much opportunity. You know, I don't want a shirt on me that says talented but lazy. You know how you see that? Like, I feel like we have talent and it's my job to help that. But I think we have a vision for a really awesome life, but I think like a lot of you, we struggle with belief. Can we really do that? Can we really achieve the things we see that are possible? But we do have to pay the bills around here, and we do not want to have to balance our checkbook every 2 days. So I can
Right.
say without exception, we know that purpose. So, so we can say that. So get a hold of that and work for that. And then when you achieve that, you can dream a little bit bigger. So, okay. So here's the deal. I think the first step of ownership, knowing that your decisions determine destinations. If we get hit by a Mack truck or check out of this business, or become instantly wealthy or whatever, and don't decide to do it, which I would still do it, you own your business. And the burden equals the blessing. And so the harder it seems to be, the bigger the blessing on the other side. Don't you think that's true?
Mm-hmm.
And this is huge. They said this weekend, but that GoPro book, he says this too. This is not a lottery ticket. This is not, let me try this for 6 months and see if it works or whatever. It didn't work for me at 6 month mark or even a year mark either, even 2 years. It is a work program. It is some of the most inconvenient, mentally and emotionally challenging work I've ever done, but has been worth it. And that's what I will share with you. Sometimes I think they make it too rosy. Work on your own, choose who you work with. All that stuff is true, but the whole no accountability thing and nobody telling me to get up and work is really hard. And so I will say though, this is what I needed to hear to keep fighting. And I'm gonna say it to you. It is worth it. The comfort, the time freedom, the not balancing your checkbook all the time, the ability to go get a little something and not think about it, the ability to send your kid to WinShape, all that. It's worth it. It's totally worth every inconvenience and every hardship. So that I'll share with you. Mixer Mania starts August 13th. We were going to win some prizes because we're going to be mixing every single week. So you'll see my pictures. Hashtag Mixer Mania. And I guess that's it. If y'all need anything, let us know. Our goal was to take 10 people, new people to Success School. I think we took 4. But that's huge because I don't think I recruited new people for the last year or much. So that was a big deal. And I'm getting ready to go recruit 3 new people. And I just encourage you, using exactly what I just told you guys, purpose, list, and calendar. And I'm going to put them through that game on Tracker. And I hope 3 pop out and are at, we have another 3-star gold organization, an ad donation, and a 9-star pin to share with all of you. So let's get to work. How do you turn it off?